So, this is a video that's recorded on Good Friday. It's a season of death and resurrection and renewal and Easter and other traditions. And I give this video to the frontline caretakers and health caregivers, doctors and nurses that are dealing with this pandemic that seems to be sweeping across the land. And I hear them say that they don't know what to do when there's no more life to give. There's nothing they can say, and they can't make them well, and there are people in the emergency room dying, and they're going home, and their loved ones can't be with them and can't be by their sides. I've worked as a hospice volunteer and a PT and a craniosacral therapist, helping people in their times of transition. And my teacher says that craniosacral therapy helps complete the biological process. And for us, that's increasing the cerebral spinal fluid and the fluids that nutritionalize the central nervous system and the brain, and the transition into the lymphatics, which takes the fluids and renews them with the blood. And so my teacher says it's about helping the biological process. And in this time and in this circumstance, the biological process for some is transitioning and dropping their bodies. And so as caretakers and first responders, as doctors and nurses that save lives and cure people and bring people back, they're coming to a time in which sometimes they cannot. And so Governor Cuomo says he wants to be one that says, we tried our best, and those that go home do so because we tried our best. And that's something that just has to be. And so this is a time where we actually, the first responders, the doctors and nurses, may have an opportunity to help them with the biological process of dropping their bodies, which is very diametrically opposed to curing a person or to renewing health and physical health. This is giving them a final spiritual path. And so, as what we teach in somatic emotional processing and in our craniosacral work, I have two thoughts for you. First of all, be a good listener and listen to what the people have to say. Listen to their fears. Listen to the relatives that call in who also have those fears. Listen to your own caregivers and fellow colleagues about their fears. Be a good listener. And for the patients that lose their ability to talk and they lose their breath, they will come to a quiet place eventually. And this is a time to remind them that their loved ones are praying for them and know that they're in this circumstance and that are spiritually and intentionally with them. And you can invite those people that are dying to close their eyes and envision their relatives and their form of spirituality and that form of God or universal consciousness, and invite the energy of that consciousness to come down into them in their time of need. And witness their family around them, telling them they don't want them to die, but if they have to go, it's okay. They don't want them to suffer anymore. And that the family will be okay. Give them those words and those thoughts so that they may have a meaning for their transition. And for them to invite their light of their spiritual guide or their inner wisdom, their religion, their view of God, their view of universal consciousness, their idea of unconditional love to come down upon them. So this is your form of care. There'll be ones that you will save with all your treatments and your ventilation machines and all those things, and they will recover, and we will get beyond this, and we will grow as a nation, as a people, and we will learn what's really important, and we will learn how to care for ourselves, and we will learn how to start again. But we will also know that when our time comes, that we can go to our own intention, our own inner wisdom, and find a form of peace. So I share that with you caregivers, first responders, and all those that are suffering with living and dying issues, and suffering the loss, and financial loss, being the survivor of those that are going and will go. And I hope to give you hope that this time will come to an end, and there will be a new order in the world where love comes first, and giving comes first, and caring for one another comes first, and the sanctity of life is always honored. So I bless you, and I offer you unconditional love, all you caregivers in the world.